evening, everybody. Good night, or no, good evening. I think is what you say when you say hello.
Talking Dirty
with Maestro.
Not just numbers,
Not just stats.
it's about what they mean.
Oops. Maestro. We're gonna throw this into a movie.
See, is that better for you?
Educate me. I'm going to send to you the information.
Talking Dirty.
Hello, fam, and welcome to Talkin Dirty with your boy. Me. Let's go hop into it. Get a little conversation in to a run, Lexington, Kentucky. And I'm just going to start out by saying it was probably one of the most fundamentally sound runs I've seen so far in the offseason for a lot of different reasons. And I'm just going to talk about the first few plays and then get into some basketball talk with it because I'm going to come back to a lot of the themes that kept coming up in this. First possession coming up the court, Jermichael Woolery gets the ball in the post. Now, he makes a turn to the baseline, which means he added two defenders to his situation. But it was a good, strong move. He received the pass. He did not waste a dribble. He got the ball. He took a move, made a decisive move. It would have been better, only better, if he'd have turned to his right instead of his left. Turning to his left, he introduced the baseline and the sideboard, as well as the backside of the rim. He made the shot a little bit more difficult. He did not make that shot, but I would still consider that a good shot, regardless of the miss, because of the decisiveness and the strength in which he made that move. Now, he was there for the rebound. He did not get it. Tyrell Crane did. But that particular move in the post is what you're looking for, a decisive, quick move to give your team an opportunity to crash the boards, get into the play, and get the ball moving on the same side as you have the momentum. Very next possession, opposite side of the court, Tyrell Crane makes a great post move. Again, he made it against his leverage, but it was a power move that allowed him the opportunity to actually get the bucket. Again, better opportunity to score in the paint, learning how to use your leverage with you, how to take away the sideboard, the backboard, the baseline, to be able to do that. Key move. Coming back up, very next possession, Tavion Phoenix makes a cut through the paint, a great feed into the paint. And I'm sorry I missed whoever made that feed. Great feed into the paint because they were blocked from my view. Great feed, was able to take the ball, no dribble, up, chose violence, boom, instant two. Classic textbook move all the way through. What do these three plays have in common? Strong moves in the paint without wasting dribble. Power moves to the bucket will always come up to be good things. Very next possession coming down the court, Zion Elias McKibben. Bring the balls up. What does he do? Runs cat a corner to traffic, offsets the balance of the floor, gives himself a really nice mid-range shot. Right-hand side of the basket, left-hand shot. We're going to talk about more of that in the second half of this. Very good shot, mid-range shot. Got his balance, took the shot, stayed ready to follow up, is exactly what you want to see. And the key idea here is he offset the defense and took advantage of the defense not being able to reset itself to be balanced against him. Very next possession. This is what I'm talking about. A lot of these things were happening. A lot of really good fundamental things were happening, though they might not have been all executed to points. They were exactly what you're looking for as a coach and as a scout to see the abilities of what's going on with the team. Kyrie Brown makes a double cut I apologize. I said a double cut. He makes a cut around the screen to get to the left side wing, takes the shot in stride. Excellent play, excellent shot, wide open, good percentage play. Did not turn into a bucket. I feel if he would have followed his shot, he would have had a good chance to get the rebound because the ball did hit the floor. Unfortunately, none of his teammates got back to follow up. And when the play goes back down, strong power move by Razor Red inside the paint, which is a part of his game that I've been wanting to see for a while. He executes on the other end, having the size leverage, having had the position, execute a great power move. Really nice to see. Turning around in the very next play, Woolery, as we talked about earlier, Jamichael makes a cut to the rim down the middle of the paint. Excellent bucket. No dribble once again. You see a theme here coming here, right? Now, he lost his defender, I believe it was Crane. Lost his defender in the move and did not hesitate, did not wait, kept moving to the basket, looking for the ball, moving through the post with intention, being able to make that shot happen. Good things happen when you get close to the bucket. You don't have to waste a dribble. Good go. And lastly, Terrell Crane makes a move into the paint. And though he finished with his left hand, on the side of the ball, he should have finished with his left hand. What was key about that particular move, and one thing that I like to see him work on, is not his first step. His first step is really good. It's very decisive. It's to the point. But then he relieves the momentum by stopping in his second step. And in doing so, he gives up a lot of good opportunity to get what would be easy buckets for him with his athleticism. This particular run had moments like this all throughout, exchanges like this all throughout. Really good to see. Once these players get more subtle with each other, once they get more apt with each other, it's going to be nice to see how this is going to translate into a larger part of the game. Thank you for checking out this first half of Talking Dirty with Maestro. Get your music.
Thank you for listening to the Maestro. Want to get involved? Bring it.
Drop in discord.gg/SimWorld Hoops.
If you have the brain, join as a coach. If you have the game,
join as a player.
see the game,
Be
be the game. Now, back to the Maestro.
Sorry. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. And welcome back to Talking Dirty with Maestro with your boy. So Maestro, I know. Went third person on you, right? My bad. I want to go nerd on you for a minute because I've been threatening to talk about this for a while. So, nerd alert. Just, you can say you were warned. And I guarantee you, all the other podcasts that you got going on, SimWorld Today, Blazing Takes, the Marsh Pod, Around the Table, all those really classy, super smart guys who know what they're talking about for real, they're not going to nerd you out like this. So I am the champion. I'm the champion, my friend. I'm the king of the nerds in the land of misfit toys. I want to get some Sir Isaac Newton on you. The best law of physics that describes a shot is F equals ma, or force equals mass times acceleration. And we're going to use this to talk about shots as we talk about, I'm going to call it the physics of basketball. So again, nerd alert, but I've been talking about how you do not put the ball in the basket only outside of a dunk. It is gravity that brings the ball into the bucket. So I see so many shots that are so hard, and I see so many shots that are poor angles. And this is something that you have to develop a feel for. We're going to talk about why you need to develop a feel for it. So let's just get some general rules out of the way. You don't have to worry about taking notes. This is not going to be on the final. You're all cool. If you're 2 feet from the basket's at 10 feet. If you're 2 feet from that basket, this is regardless of height, by the way. This is angled to the ground. So whether you're 4'4" or 6'4", it's not going to matter. If you're 2 feet from the basket, the most efficient shot is going to be somewhere around 9.8 miles per hour, give or take, at around 71 and a half degrees. So let's round it up. 10 miles per hour, 72 degrees. At that angle toward the basket, that's going to be a bucket more times than not. Now let's compare that 2-foot shot to a 3-pointer. What are the dimensions? The 3-point line is from the corner is 22 feet, give or take, and it's 23.9, 24 feet everywhere else, right? That's why a lot of people like to take corner threes because it's nearly 2 feet shorter. At that distance, given the mass of a basketball, you want the shot to be somewhere around 18 miles per hour at a 45 to 48 degree angle, depending on your lift. And we're going to get into what lift means in terms of the release from the ball. Now, a shot in the middle is going to be the free throw shot. We want about a 51 degree angle, 13 to 14 miles per hour. Not that much more than that 2-foot shot. Let's talk about your really good shooters and their ball rotation, because this is where lift is going to make sense in terms of release. You take a shooter like Kevin Durant, who no matter how he receives the ball, thumbs always in a T, always ready to go. His release is almost always even with the seams, which means the seams are square to him, so he's getting a true backspin on the ball that helps give the lift, that rotation, especially when he shoots his threes, around that 46 degree, 46, 47 degree angle, because he has a nice arc to his shot. This nearly happens every time, where he's able to catch the ball, set it in the same motion that he releases it, that reverse spin, even with the seams, which means there is even air resistance on the lift of the ball as it is now going up and pulling itself back down as gravity is working and pulling it to the rim of the basket. I told you it's going to be nerd time. Much like the difference in home run hitters. Home run hitters, yes, it's about launch angle in baseball, but you want that reverse spin because it gives you the lift and pull at the same time. Effortless lift, pull down. In baseball, that becomes a home run. In basketball, that becomes nothing but net 3. Now, if you notice whenever Kevin Durant shoots the ball against the seams, which means he doesn't have the ball completely squared up where he could read Spalding square up like a book, and it's sort of off angle. He changes the rotation, and there's more thumb into the shot. It's still the same angle. Sometimes, though, it looks to me from the naked eye, looks like it's close to that 48 degree angle mark that we talked about, with a little less mile per hourage on it. So a little less acceleration. And that gives it that floating, even rotation that doesn't make the ball do like a split finger move where it sort of starts to angle away from the bucket. That is knowing your shot, knowing the feel of your shot from taking thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of shots over his lifetime, where he understands how the ball feels in his hand and how it needs to be released. Another shooter who I really like because he manages to do the same thing every time, and that is Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. seems to always shoot off angle. He seems to always, and when I say off angle, the ball is rarely square in his hand like we see with Kevin Durant. He always has some sort of awkward, janky move, and if you notice the arc of his ball, you're to stand behind Michael Porter Jr. and you watch his release, and the ball goes up at the very end as it's coming down and tailing down. It seems to tail quite a bit to the right, almost as if a right-handed pitcher is sort of throwing a split finger ball that sort of has a tail away action from a left-handed hitter. His shots seem to do that, but he is incredibly consistent because he makes his aiming point like a pitcher. He keeps that in mind. So if he is on the right side of the rim and he shoots with his right hand, he aims toward the front side of the rim, knowing that his natural tail is going to spin the ball right back for the bucket. That is knowing your shot to the nth degree, and that is the kind of shooter that becomes not only efficient, but effective. Both of these shooters have one thing in common. Their angles of release is incredibly consistent. The force on the ball is incredibly consistent from where they are on the floor. And most importantly, their understanding of the natural arc of their ball is incredibly consistent. And that is what makes these two guys amongst my shooters to watch all the time. What does that mean on the other side? If you want to learn about your shot, here's what I would suggest you do. Get to a gym or wherever, take a piece of rope or whatever, and have that rope between you and the bucket and have somebody there with you, and you do your natural shot along what you think is the rope line. And have somebody watch you and watch where your ball falls. Does it fall to the left of the rope? Does it fall to the right of the rope? Does it do that consistently? Because if it does that, now you understand your new aiming point might not need to be the center of the rim. It might need to be one of the edges. And that's how you become a high-level shooter, because you understand your natural tail of the ball. And why do I say that as opposed to trying to make your shot be perfectly straight? Because under pressure, you're always going to fall back on your habits. That's what happens in human nature. The more you are stressed, the more you fall back to your basic, fundamental animal approach. Weaknesses and all. So if you learn the angle of your shot, it's going to help make you a better shooter, because you can change your aiming point to adjust. And that's easier to do under pressure, especially when you kick in, especially if you kick in the knowledge you just got from Sir Isaac Newton. Help make you more consistent, and that's what we want. Speaking of shooters and released, I told you the two who I like the best and why. Go new school, go old school. I'll go old school with you all day, but I've made a promise to back off on that a little bit and kind of come up with the more current players. So here I am. Who is your favorite shooter because of their release? Not because of their percentage, not because of those other things that are measurable in a box score, but when you see those shot happens, who is your favorite shooter and why? And why are they the best? Compare them against someone that everyone talks about. The easy call is always somebody like Steph Curry, right? Well, why does someone do you feel their release is better than Steph Curry? Now, I already hear Blaze talking now. I'm asking you to do a nuanced conversation on something, because most of us only look at who makes and who misses. I want you to look past that to show everybody else how mature you all are and able to look at the art of the shot itself and what turns out to happen. You know what's up. Yell at your boy. Let Maestro. Let him know what's going on. You know I want to hear it. I always appreciate your feedback. And understand something. As scary as Freddie Mercury is, you know when you go to his house, in his room, he's got a poster of Sister Mary Hamilton.
Like I need to talk to somebody.
Thank you for listening to Maestro.
Thank you again for checking out Maestro. Drop a tag below and give us a piece of your mind. See you next time.
Well, thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day.